So many of us dream of starting our own business. The whole idea is freedom, right? Being your own boss. But for so many people, that dream, it turns into something totally different. A reality that feels less like freedom and a lot more like a trap. So today, let's talk about why that happens. And more importantly, how you can break free.
So let's just get right to it. I want you to ask yourself something and be honest. Are you really running a business, an asset that can grow on its own? Or have you just accidentally created a really high stress, high stakes job for yourself? This is the big question we're going to unpack right now. The dream is always about freedom, isn't it? Having more time, more control, just more life. But the reality for so many entrepreneurs looks more like a 24/7 hamster wheel. You're constantly working. The line between your job and your home life just disappears, and everything feels urgent all the time. If you stop running for even a second, the whole thing grinds to a halt.
To figure out how to get off that hamster wheel for good, we've got to look at two fundamentally different paths that any entrepreneur can take. And this isn't about what you sell or the service you offer, it's all about how you operate. And here is the core difference, right here. On one side, you've got the specialist. This is a direct trade. 1 hour of your time equals a certain amount of money. Simple, but your income is always capped by the number of hours in a day. On the other side, you've got the system builder. They create something where the business itself generates the money, completely separating their income from their personal time. So let's get really clear on what it means to be a specialist. You essentially own your own job. Think about it. If you're a doctor, a freelance designer, or a small shop owner who does all the buying and selling, your presence is absolutely critical. If you want to take a vacation or you get sick, the income just stops, or at least slows way, way down. Why? Because you're the one doing all the work. You are trading your time directly for money. Now, on the flip side, the system builder doesn't own a job. They own a system. This is a massive shift in how you think. Their focus is on creating repeatable processes and then hiring talented people to run those processes. Their whole goal is to build a business that can function and even grow completely independent of them. The system is what makes the money, not just their own personal effort. So, the big question is, why does so many smart, talented, hardworking people get stuck in this specialist trap? I mean, it's not because they lack skill or a good work ethic. It usually boils down to a very specific and honestly a very common mindset.
Does this sound familiar? If you want it done right, you gotta do it yourself. This is the perfectionist's mantra, and let me tell you, it is the absolute core of the trap. It's this deep-seated belief that nobody can possibly do the job as well as you can. And that belief makes it impossible to trust others or to delegate anything important. It keeps you as the single biggest bottleneck in your own business.
And the consequences of being that bottleneck? They're severe. When you're the only one who can do it right, your business can only grow as big as your personal capacity allows. Growth just hits a wall. Personal burnout isn't just a risk, it's pretty much inevitable. You can't take a real vacation or even a sick day without everything falling apart. And you're so buried in the day-to-day tasks, in the weeds, that you have zero time to think about the big picture. And this right here is such a critical point to understand. You might be the absolute best baker, or the most brilliant coder, or the most insightful consultant in the world. And that's fantastic. But that technical skill is a completely different skill set from what's needed to build and scale a business. Nobody is born knowing how to do this stuff. It has to be learned. Okay, so we've laid out the trap, we know what it looks like and why it's so easy to fall into. But here's the good news. There is a clear escape plan. It's all about making a very conscious shift from being the primary doer to becoming the architect of the whole operation. The path forward really boils down to 3 key steps. First, it all starts up here, in your head, with a major mindset shift. Second, you have to actually build the machine. And third, you find the right people and the right tech to run that machine for you. The first step, and honestly the most important one, is all about taking extreme ownership. This means you are 100% responsible for the outcome, for completing the mission. And this is the crucial part, it does not mean you have to do everything yourself. In fact, it's the opposite. Your job is to find the best way to get it done, and that often means finding the best person or the best tool for the job. Okay, step 2. You have to design the machine before you hire the operator. This means creating clear, documented processes for literally everything. Think about your favorite coffee shop. They don't just hire a barista and say, good luck. No way. There's a precise step-by-step recipe for every single drink, a script for taking orders, a checklist for opening and closing. That's an operational system. It guarantees consistency and quality no matter who's working that day. That's the foundation that lets someone else step in and do a perfect job without you having to look over their shoulder.
So, once you've got those solid systems in place, now you're ready for step 3, delegate and empower. A great place to start is to identify all the tasks that just drain your energy, your drudgery zone, and get them off your plate first. And this isn't just about hiring people. Look for ways to automate. Can software handle your invoicing? Can AI tools help draft proposals? Then, for the human part, hire experts. A great project manager can take over the day-to-day operations. A chartered accountant will handle your finances way better than you can. The key is to trust the systems you built and the people you hired. You have to let go of controlling every little detail and empower them to get the job done. Escaping this trap and building a real business, it gives you a return that is so much more valuable than just a bigger paycheck. It's about fundamentally changing your entire relationship with your work and, even more importantly, with your time.
I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. The real goal of being an entrepreneur shouldn't be to work yourself into the ground. It should be to build an asset that buys you your time back, because time, that's the one resource you can never, ever get more of. So, at the end of the day, the true measure of success isn't how busy you are. It's creating a profitable, scalable business that doesn't need you there every single second. An enterprise that keeps serving customers and making money whether you're in the office or on a beach somewhere. That right there is true freedom. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most exciting question of all. Once you've done it, once you've built that system and bought back all your time, what are you going to do with all that freedom? Start another business? Spend more time with your family? Travel the world? The possibilities are endless. And that is the real prize.